Greetings, everyone. Well, today we'll be talking about a movie that was actually sent to me by a longtime YouTube viewer and B-movie and horror movie aficionado slash expert, Skinslip. Yes, a while back he sent me an epic package full of all kinds of cool stuff, a lot of which you've seen on display periodically on the shelves behind me. I did a couple of closer look videos where we took a look just sort of at the packaging and special features and stuff like that. But this particular one I couldn't really say much about at the time because I hadn't got around to watching the movie yet. Well, I finally sat down and watched the movie just the other night as part of the Halloween Horror Fest, and well, I thought it was about time I talked about it. I'm of course talking about the classic and somewhat underrated film based on the novel by Wade Davis and directed by Wes Craven, The Serpent and the Rainbow. And that's what we're going to talk about today on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back. Well, The Serpent and the Rainbow. I remember this coming out back in, what was it, 1988, 89, 91, 92, 93, 87, 1987. Yeah, I vaguely remember when this came out, just seeing the poster and stuff, and the fact that it was from Wes Craven. Of course, the main thing that I associated Wes Craven with was the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I didn't see much of his other stuff. I think I saw Deadly Friend, and that was it. That was pretty much the only other Wes Craven movie I had seen around that period in time. So I wanted to see that just because it was another one by him, but I think I was kind of in the mode of, well, if it's not another Freddy movie, I don't care, whatever. I don't care about the other stuff he does. Yeah, well, I've since matured somewhat and expanded my horizons, and I most definitely care about the other stuff he does now. So, what did I think of The Serpent and the Rainbow? Well, first off, let me just, I'll just read the back here so you get the summary, because, I kind of suck at summarizing movies. Wes Craven, The People Under the Stairs, and Shocker. I have seen both of those as well, back in the days of VHS. Really liked The People Under the Stairs. That's one I'd actually like to pick up at some point. Directs this terrifying story of one man's nightmarish journey into the eerie and deadly world of voodoo. A Harvard anthropologist, played by Bill Pullman, is sent to Haiti to retrieve a strange powder that is said to have the power to bring human beings back from the dead. So yeah, basically it's like a medical, firm kind of thing wants to get this mysterious powder to see if it can be applied to medical applications and whatnot, and basically make a lot of money with it. So he's sent off to try to retrieve it and determine if it's legit and stuff like that. In his quest to find the miracle drug, the cynical scientist enters the rarely seen netherworld of walking zombies, blood rites, and ancient curses. Based on the true-life experiences of Wade Davis and filmed on location in Haiti, it's a frightening excursion into black magic and the supernatural. Now, the thing that well, there's a few things that really struck me about this film. I mean, first off, it's from 1987, but in watching it, it really doesn't feel like a typical 1987 movie. The visual effects are really, really well done, and I think hold up phenomenally well. I mean, it's all practical effects, obviously, but there's a lot of sequences in it that deal with Bill Pullman's character under the influence of some kind of crazy voodoo drug or supernatural influence or both, and just goes on these hallucinatory mind trips. I mean, they may be hallucinations, it may be just a lot of crazy shit going on, or more likely a combination of both. And it really messes with you. I mean, because it kind of puts me in mind, speaking of Nightmare on Elm Street, of how with Nightmare on Elm Street you had that sort of blurring between reality and the dream world, and it's very similar kind of a very similar kind of vibe with Serpent and the Rainbow, where you have, again, a sort of blurring of reality between the hallucinatory effects of the what's being done to Bill Pullman's character versus reality and stuff like that, and it really does sort of take you on a crazy trip. Quite a few crazy trips actually. Right from I think the opening scene takes you on a pretty crazy trip, and then it kind of sets the stage for what's ahead, because each subsequent journey into the voodoo world and hallucinations and whatnot is more and more extreme and intense. And then on top of that, there's this corrupt police official who's also pretty hardcore into voodoo and whatnot, and capturing men's souls to use their power for himself. He's trying to stop him and torture him and stuff like that, and he's kind of the main antagonist in this. Now, I've heard, and this is from Skinslip, so I assume it does come from a reputable source. I did a bit of digging around. I couldn't find any additional information about it, but Skinslip tells me that apparently when they were filming this, Bill Pullman went kind of nuts. And just, went running through the set and then pounding on Wes Craven's door saying, like, they're trying to kill me, and just, like, went crazy. I haven't found any actual confirmation of that, so I don't know if it's just a colorful rumor that's sort of circulated around surrounding this movie. I don't know. It seems like anything to do with so-called real-life supernatural stuff always has some kind of weird goings on. I mean, there's the Poltergeist movies where all the deaths linked to the Poltergeist movies, so the Poltergeist curse, as it were. You have The Crow with Brandon Lee's death, and the whole movie centered around death and that sort of thing. And now you have The Serpent and the Rainbow, centers all around voodoo and life after death and zombies. Not sort of Walking Dead zombies, but voodoo zombies, sort of the traditional definition of a zombie, basically someone whose soul is under the control of someone else, and they're enthralled to that person and an instrument of their will, that sort of thing. But do have supernatural abilities such as heightened strength and very difficult to kill and things like that. So that's kind of the sort of zombies that we're talking about here. So yeah, it's really hard to put it into words, because it's kind of the kind of movie that you sort of need to sit down and experience, because it really does take you on a journey, and it looks and feels quite different from any other Wes Craven movie I've seen. I mean, every other Wes Craven movie I've seen has sort of had a low budget vibe to it, whereas this almost feels like almost feels like Out of Africa, but with voodoo and zombies and hallucinations and craziness and horror. I mean, there's some parts in this that will genuinely make you cringe, especially if you're a guy. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. we'll just leave that one for now, and you can watch the movie and find out what I'm referring to for yourself. Do I recommend it? Absolutely. I absolutely recommend it. If you like supernatural horror, this does not disappoint. Made even creepier by the fact that it was, it's inspired by a book in which the author, Wade Davis, essentially claims that pretty much everything that's in the book is true. And, apparently they did take some creative license in adapting it for the film. It goes a little bit more into the supernatural side of things than the book does, but that's all just, it's part of the fun. I mean, it's scary because it has its roots in reality, because voodoo is an actual religion, and it's kind of mysterious and whatnot, and old school, old world. So it has this mystery, this mysterious stigma attached to it. I mean, we all know about voodoo dolls and zombies and things like that, and it's scary because it's real, sort of. Probably not in the way that we see it in the movies, but, real enough that it can be scary shit. So it explores that side of it, and it also explores sort of the more wild, crazy, supernatural side of it. But, but the other thing that struck me about it was just how gorgeous the visuals are. While we were watching, this has not come out on Blu-ray yet, but while we were watching it, we watched it as a group. It was me, Skinslip, and Stoudman, and some others. And as we were watching it, we all agreed like this really would look fantastic on Blu-ray, just because some of the scenery and the just the sets and the locations and whatnot are just so gorgeous and full of. You can tell like they're just full of detail, but you can't see it all on DVD. So I mean, I think this is a movie that would definitely benefit from a nicely done Blu-ray transfer. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm sure it'll come eventually, but I just really hope that it's done well. It is a Universal movie, so as we know, Universal will be kind of hit and miss with their catalog titles. But yeah, it's one that I would definitely like to see on Blu-ray, and I would definitely pick up again to see it. So yeah, so thank you again, very very much, Skinslip. Skinslip is one of those types of movie fans whose recommendations I essentially trust blindly, because he knows the kind of stuff I like, and he knows what's good, and he knows even if it's a bad movie, he knows how to find the good in it, and he knows that I will appreciate the good in it. And for that reason, I always take his recommendations seriously. And if this was something that he had just recommended to me and hadn't sent me, I would have happily gone out and blind bought it, because it's I just trust his recommendations. So yeah, The Serpent and the Rainbow. I don't want to say too much about it, because it really is the kind of movie you need to sit down and experience to really get the most out of. And it really is best just to kind of go in cold. I did have a little bit of it spoiled for me just looking at some other Halloween review videos. There was, I don't even remember which one it was. It was one that just showed some notable scenes or something from a horror. I don't even remember what it was. Might have been a James Rolfe one, if I remember. But anyway, it showed one of the main scenes from Serpent and the Rainbow before I had seen the movie, and I was like, fuck. So I waited and waited and waited a nice long time until I had completely forgotten that scene, and then watched the movie. I remembered that scene when I saw it again in the movie, but not in a way that really spoiled anything for me. So yeah, so that was good. So it wasn't ruined. The experience was not tainted. Don't worry. So in terms of special features, we have nothing. Yes, this is a bare bones edition, but I'll give you a little look inside. It's got the clips on. I almost ripped the case in half. There we go. Unlike a lot of Universal's recent releases, this actually does have some rather nice disc art on it. So there you go. And I didn't even realize at the time, but on the cover here, this is actually Bill Pullman. I didn't even recognize him. I always thought that was like a kid or something, but with the tagline, "Don't bury me, I'm not dead." Very creepy stuff. Yeah, Edgar Allan Poe does a lot of stuff about being buried alive and whatnot, and there's a fair amount of stuff about being buried alive in this. Basically, people who are given this zombie powder, it creates the illusion of death. So a lot of people in the story are getting buried alive, and then being unearthed later and put under the control of the zombie master, as it were. But I'm probably making it sound way cheesier than it actually is. The thing that works about this, and the reason why I think it holds up so well, is because the whole thing is played straight. Like, it's not played for cheese. This is not, if you're expecting like a zombie voodoo B movie, yeah, this is not what you're going to get with Serpent and the Rainbow. It's actually played very serious and very straight, and I think that's what makes it so effective. Is the characters in it believe in this stuff full force, and you see a lot of the effects of it and whatnot. Oh, and I should mention also, favorite character actor of mine, Paul Winfield, plays a character in this as well, who, I'm not going to say anything about it, but he's, a fairly important supporting character who has a couple of memorable scenes in there. But I've always enjoyed him. He was in the original Terminator, actually. You may remember he was one of the cops in the original Terminator, and Lance Henriksen was his sort of partner in that. So yeah, anyway, he's in Serpent and the Rainbow as well. Anybody else notable in there? I can't remember. It's been a few days since I watched it, and I've been watching a lot of movies. Bill Pullman, Kathy Tyson, Zakes Mokay, and Paul Winfield. Yeah, so that's basically the whole thing. And the phone is ringing, so that's my cue to quit. So, Serpent and the Rainbow, check it out. Thanks, Skinslip. I'm going to go answer the phone. So that's it from me to you for now. So until next time, thanks for watching, and sayonara.